never had a Twilight phase, so don't ask me if I'm Team Jacob or Team Edward. I am Team I don't care. Hi everyone, welcome to my booktube channel. I'm C1 and I love to read. So today I'm going to be reviewing Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is one of her newer releases. At the time of filming, I guess she's just released another one, so it's not her newest release anymore, but it's her second newest release. And if you know Ali Hazelwood, she is basically the queen of STEM romance. And this, however, is a paranormal romance, so it's quite out of her usual wheelhouse. If you watched my June Brief and Terrible reviews, I said that I was kind of nervous going into this because I am not a paranormal romance girly, but I was also very intrigued because it is so different from all of her other work. This is my fourth Ali Hazelwood book. I first read Check and Mate, which is her YA romance. Then I read The Love Hypothesis, and I read Love Theoretically. Now, my review of Love Theoretically, I believe, was basically just that. It's the Love Hypothesis if the FMC were annoying. So, in my opinion, all her books are a little the same. There's a badass STEM girly, and there's a dark and brooding academic rival, and they fall in love. And that's it. That's the story. Just like the Chestnut Springs series, I'm not saying I dislike that. I'm just saying they're kind of all the same. So I dived into this book with trepidation but intrigue. It is about a vampire named Misery who agrees to an arranged marriage with a werewolf named Lo, basically to keep the peace between the werewolves and the vampires. Now, Misery has spent most of her life living with humans as what they call the vampire collateral, which is basically the vampire that they have sent to live in human territory, and in return, the humans send a human to live in vampire territory, and if either side breaks the peace treaty, this chosen person gets killed. So it's supposed to encourage them to keep the peace, and it tenuously works. And so Misery has grown up with the humans, and she's got a human best friend, and she tried to go back, live with the vampires, but she didn't feel like she belonged there because she grew up with the humans. So she went back to the human world, poses as a human, works in tech, and for the most part has nothing to do with the paranormal side of things. This all changes when her human best friend, whose name is Serena, goes missing, just disappears without a trace. And Misery finds the name Moreland written in Serena's planner. So she gets called back to the vampire territory by her father, who is this very powerful councilman and basically controls all the vampires. And he announces that he wants her to be in an arranged marriage with the new werewolf pack leader to keep the peace. And she is about to refuse till she hears that pack leader's name is Moreland. So she agrees, thinking that this is going to get her closer to the secret of where her best friend disappeared to. So it's a forced proximity, arranged marriage, enemies to lovers book, which, I mean, those are all tropes I like. Can't complain there. So she goes, and she eventually reveals to her husband that she is looking for Serena, and he decides that he's going to help, because it turns out that the initials, the name that she found in Serena's planner, actually belong to Lo's little sister, who is a half-human, half-werewolf hybrid, which they didn't know was possible. Spoilers ahead. In the end, they find Serena. It turns out she's been kidnapped by Misery's father, because Serena has a secret, which is that she too is a human werewolf hybrid. And Misery's father knows it, has known it all along, and actually pushed Misery and Serena together as children because he wanted access to Serena and was like, I happen to have a daughter around that age who might like a companion. How convenient. So Misery finds Serena, and they escape together, and they're being held hostage with Lo at her father's headquarters until Serena reveals that she can actually shift. And she and Lo turn into wolves. They attack the vampires, and they all escape. And aided by Misery's brother, who is determined that he's going to replace their father in power. Lo reveals that Misery is actually his mate, and that the distaste that he always showed for her was instant attraction that he was actually trying to cover up. So it is he falls first as well. And yeah, so Serena ends up kind of going back to the wolf pack, learning more about her wolf side, and they live happily ever after. That's pretty much the book. First of all, I loved the characters. I loved the characters so much. I loved Misery. I thought she was so fun. I thought she's so sarcastic and snarky and entertaining, and it's really fun to be in her head. Ali Hazelwood, I hear that her new book is dual POV. Historically, she only writes singular person POV. However, at the start of each chapter, there's just this little blurb in italics that is from Lo's perspective. And I really enjoyed that. Just that little tiny insight, and you don't quite understand until like halfway through the book what this is, but it's Lo's perspective. So I thought that was a really fun tidbit. Lo himself I really love. I love Ali Hazelwood's kind of gentle giant male main characters, where they're really smart, they're really caring, they're really loyal, but they're also fiercely protective. They're like quietly fierce, I believe is the term I used to describe them in my June wrap-up video. So I love Lo, and I love his little sister Anna, who is so cute. And you know me, I don't really like kids in books. I'm not a kids person, but she's really charming. She calls Misery Miracy, and she's just a bundle of joy. So the plot, to be honest, I didn't care. You could have dropped these characters on the moon and I still would have liked the characters. I was like reading this, and Misery is like, I need to find Serena, and I'm like, I don't care about Serena. I think it's hard for me to emotionally invest in finding Serena because we don't meet Serena before she disappears. Like, she's gone at the beginning of the book. So it's hard for me to like invest in finding a character that I don't know anything about. Like, I don't care about Serena because like I don't know who she is. I have no emotional investment in Misery's attachment to her. So I really didn't care about the plot. I did like kind of the last 25%, I'd say. The plot really kicked off like from when she actually finds Serena and they discover she's a wolf hybrid and all of that, and that she can change, and like that got interesting to me. But for the majority of the plot where she's like looking for Serena, I didn't care. So overall, I thought that this book was really fun. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time. It was very despite the setting, it was very Ali Hazelwood. Like, she has a particular writing style and a particular style of character that really marks it as her own. And so like I felt like I was reading an Ali Hazelwood book that happened to involve vampires and werewolves, but I wasn't like overwhelmed by the paranormal element, which personally I liked. And I think the characters really shine. Again, the plot, take it or leave it, but I really would recommend this book for the characters, and just if you want something that's like a quick read, that's low stakes and is a lot of fun. So that is my review of Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, like and subscribe, and if you're returning, thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!